Talk about settling into your offense in that second half, and what kind of got that going for you?
We knew that they were going to get really soft defensively in the secondary, and just taking the checkdowns and getting easy completions, I think helps the whole offense. It feels like there's momentum. You're moving the ball quickly and getting the ball out, and I think that helped the O-line a lot. I felt really confident with them this whole game, and Duke is a good team. They have a really good D-line and a veteran group, so I was really happy with how they protected, and we ran the ball well for the first time in a long time. So there's a lot of good to look at, and like any game, there's a ton to clean up.
Did Phil do or say anything to you before the game or in this week of preparation to help you prepare for your first start?
Yeah, I mean, it just early on in the week, he was like, I don't think I can go, so get ready. And obviously a short week was tough. We had no off day. But, I mean, he's a very good example of someone that just really, really never quits. And although I think he lays his body on the line a little too often, I really, really respect how hard he plays. And so it's something that I think the team really wanted out of me as well, is just to see some fight like that. And hopefully I showed that.
Emmett, obviously you've been in games before, but this is your first start. Was this any different starting right away from, the kickoff, going through, being the guy rather than coming in, in a relief role?
No, not in my mind. A lot of people were asking me, hey, like, you're good, bro? Like, are you okay? And in my mind, I think it's really easy for you to get comfortable as a backup. And I think I did last year, and that was something I really wanted to change this year. Felt like every game going into, I've played in a couple this year, but even those kind of garbage minutes and those blowouts, like, I'd been ready to go earlier in those games and felt confident with my preparation, like mentally and physically. And so this game to me, I just really felt the same throughout the week. My preparation was the same as it always has been. And the only difference is I get more opportunities to show what I can do and in important moments. And I'll learn and grow from those.
Can you speak to your connection with Joe Griffin, just what it's like throwing to him and what he brings to the table every game?
Well, he's 6'4", so that's rare. And he's just a freak athlete. And with a basketball background, he's really good at like tracking the ball, going up and kind of boxing people out for those jump balls. And it changes the game in the red zone because there's really not a corner in America that is that tall or able to guard him in a well-placed fade or go ball, out in the field. So he changes the game with his length and his speed. And very early on, obviously coming in, he was a big recruit, and I've tried to kind of take him under my wing and really work with him, knowing he's going to be big for us, and he'll be a big-time player at some point, if he's not already right now.
And was that 26, that explosive on 4th and 4, was that one of the more rewarding plays of the game for you? Kind of a gutsy call going deep on the play like that.
Yeah, I think so. 4th down is always, when you're also losing, kind of feels like it's always on the line. Like you feel like if you don't get it, it'll be hard to come back from. So moving the ball and really keeping the defense off the field, it's really rewarding. And that's something I think about a lot. Those 3 and outs are hard for our defense because they're just on the field too much.
Just one more. Did you feel a little handcuffed by the field position in the first half?
I did, yeah. Something out of my control, but they obviously had very good field position throughout the game, and we did not. And we put together a lot of really good drives, a lot of really long 80-yard, 75-yard drives that were great. And it's just not easy to do over and over again, so it's something we need to look at and keep working through.
After your performance there, do you see yourself, in the mix to be the starter, or are you going to leave that to coach that and Phil?
That's not my decision.
You seem like a pretty level-headed guy who doesn't really get too high or too low from what we've seen from you. Do you feel like this performance does give you more confidence going forward if you're the starter hypothetically down the road, or are you pretty much in the same mindset as you were 4 hours ago? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I think you spend a lot of time, I put in a lot of work outside of our practices and in the off season, and you have very limited opportunities to show that work and show if that really pays off in the games. So for me, it's more satisfaction and like gratitude that all that work that I'm putting in that none of you see and no fan sees, all that kind of comes to light, and no one will ever appreciate that more than me. So, you know, whether I start or not, or play another snap this season or not, I think I'll be very happy with being able to feel like really good about the off-season work that I put in and know that it's paid off.
Emmett, all year, Zay has seen a lot of attention from defensive backs from teams that you played. Now that Joe Griffin had the game that he had tonight, and even during the game, did you notice that there was things opening up because now the defense could not just concentrate on Zay, they had to concentrate on other people, which opened things up?
It's hard when you go down like we did because they're able to get into coverages like, you know, 3 deep with cloud corners, and that's pretty much just saying check the ball down. There's really like no zones open in a passing game to hit. But earlier on, yes, it's nice because when they put a safety over top in Cloud Zay and then play quarters or, you know, whatever backside on Joe, that's where those opportunities opened up. And I think there's a lot of guys that we can use more and help kind of distribute the ball. Obviously, Zay is dynamic with the ball in his hands, but we have a lot of good talent. And it's important that we use those guys and make defenses respect them.
Thanks, everyone.